Since the Russian special military operation against Ukraine, the European nations and the US put various kinds of ban against Russia. The NATO nations, especially the United States, tried to destroy the Russian economy by using unilateral coercive bans. But the things went against US expectations. The Russian economy grew faster than what it was before the Ukrainian war. And the Russian ruble became the highest performing currency against US dollar during the war. These are the things happening because of the huge Russian reserve of oil and the natural gas. The Russia has the world's 8th largest oil reserve, and the Russia is the world's largest natural gas reservoir with 24.3% share, which is a very large amount. The US and the European Union put all kinds of ban against Russia, but they never put the ban against the Russian gas and the oil, because they knew if they were going to put the ban on the Russian gas and the oil, the first thing the world will going to face, that will be the recession. And that recession will going to flush the European market away from the face of the earth. Because Europe imports 40% of the Russian gas for its industrial production, producing electricity and generate heat during the cooling winter season. The Europe tried its best to get away from the Russian gas and the oil, but they failed to do so. The first reason for this failure was logistic challenge, and the second is the cost, because when they will going to put the ban on the Russian gas and the oil, they have to import the gas and the oil from the other sections of the earth. That will be the Middle East. Because when they will going to import the gas or the oil from the Middle East, they have to pay for the logistic, and that will going to increase the cost of the gas. So they stick with the Russian gas and the oil to save their own economy and their own people. Meanwhile, Russia offers India their oil at 30 to 35% discount, which India readily accepted to save its own economy and its own people. And the India took the right decision. A country should do to protect its own population from inflation because of the war effect, because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. If the India wouldn't do that, then the India will going to face the similar song what Sri Lanka is facing today. USA and the other European nations are pressing the India not to take the oil from the Russia. They are saying that the purchasing Russian oil means the investing the Russian war against Ukraine. But Europe itself buying billions barrels of oil and the billions cubic meters of gas from the Russia to protect their own economy and its own population. And because of that, a obvious question arises from that conclusion, which is the buying the Russian gas by the European nation is not the investment to the Russian war against Ukraine. India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has already given ferocious answers against the Western propaganda of India's purchase of Russian oil. But still, USA is trying to influence India's external policy to punish the Russia. Recently, US Consulate General in Mumbai again advised India not to allow Russian ships in Mumbai Port. According to me, it was not an advice. It was a forceful suggestion to intimidate India's foreign policy. But India again showed the mirror to the US and said that it is India's sovereign right to deal with global partners on the national interest. In this case, US Consulate General Mumbai did not register their complaint with the Indian Foreign Affairs Department directly. They wrote directly to the Mumbai Port Authority. Then Mumbai Port Authority written to the Directorate General of Shipping, which has asked the Ministry of External Affairs for instruction. So US used silly way to intimidate India, but they have been humiliated miserably for interfering in India's business. Now the question is, why USA is trying to stop the Russian ships entering Mumbai Port? The main reason is to block the Russian oil entering India. India imports most of its oil and the gas from the Western countries, especially Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates and Iraq. But after Ukrainian war, scenario changed completely. Before Ukraine war, India used to import only 1% of its oil and the gas need from the Russia. India imported only 34,000 barrels last year in 2021. But this year, the numbers of barrels India is importing has increased exponentially. According to the Kepler data, India imported approximately 5 lakh barrels per day in April. In May, India's import increased by almost 2,40,000 barrels, and it was 7,40,000 barrels per day. In June, the number of barrels stands at stunning 9,40,000 barrels per day. Recently, a Bloomberg report said that India is looking to purchase more low-cost oil, low-cost Russian oil from Rosneft. The reason behind it is very simple, because India needs 5 million barrels per day. And because of that, India's oil import from Iraq and the Saudi Arabia reduced by 13% and 10% respectively. Not only India is buying cheap oil from the Russia, China is also doing so. India and the China together bought $24 billion of gas, coal and the oil from the Russia after Russian special military operation against Ukraine. Among that $24 billion, India spent $5.1 billion. Now I have my own view in this topic because USA is trying to lure India in the US camp since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The West, especially the USA, trying every tactic to intimidate India to go against Russia, but India stood tall with itself. India never went with Russia or never went with USA because India need both. India need the USA for its technological support and India need the Russia because of its discounted oil and the weapon. India have the 70% of its Russian origin weapon, and to repair those weapons India need something which we will going to get from the Russia, the spear. The spear we will not going to get it from the USA. So India have to stood with both. India have the non-alignment policy. India took that non-alignment policy during the Cold War, and India is taking that stand still today. And the India has already made the US sure that the India stand on the Ukraine and the Russia is neutral. India do not want the war. India simply want the neutral dialogue between these two nations. And India will not compromise its own foreign policy at any cost, not at the advice of the USA or not at the advice of the Russia. Now the questions. The first question is, the oldest documented light in the history of the universe, which was recently released, was captured by which telescope? The first option is Hubble Space Telescope. Second option is James Webb Space Telescope. Third option is Voyager Space Telescope. Fourth option is Spitzer Space Telescope. The second question is POP FAME, a new fuel was found in the news, was developed from which source? The first option is hydrogen, second is bacterium, third is biomass, fourth is plastic. So this is the end of the topic. If you have any kind of questions or any kind of inquiry about anything, then you can mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. I hope you will going to find this topic informative. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.